that.
There's companies that do this, right? They're like an agency. They take like 25%. They take all your pictures, fly you to LA, do all the things, and then they have people who interact with your fans and talk sexy to them and say, I can't wait to see you. So they keep you engaged, and then you fucking fall in love with them.
Oh boy.
And then the girls don't gotta do shit.
Like my bitch, I wouldn't even mind my girl doing OnlyFans as long as I kept all the money.
So, what's your understanding of OnlyFans?
So my understanding of OnlyFans is that it is a site that enables people to upload their own content, provide videos, and have subscribers.
So, why is it important that we study porn?
So porn studies as a discipline is important because it counters a fairly simplistic and dominant narrative of what porn is in society. And so porn studies basically tries to situate and frame pornography as something that can be studied in that way as a cultural artifact. My research looked at sexual practice, but also sexual fantasies and sexual desires over COVID. And unsurprisingly and clearly, during lockdowns, there was a significant reduction in amount of people who were having sex and certainly having casual sex. So you can see how pornography and OnlyFans would fill that void.
So, who do you think is truly in control between creator, consumer, and CEO?
So the answer to that, I don't know who's in control of in terms of that. That's an empirical question. I think there's different. What does control mean is an interesting question, because at one level, porn models have more control because they can work themselves. They can do these things. The consumer has more control in a sense because they can choose who to pay for, or indeed another issue in terms of whether they pay for the porn or not, or whether they kind of stream it illegally. And then, of course, clearly the CEO is in control in terms of making a lot of money. There's no one simple answer to that.
Tell me about what you do.
I'm a CEO and owner of a OnlyFans management company. So we manage models which are all female content creators. And to put it simply, we make them more money than they possibly could make by themselves. How we make them more money is we generate them more subscribers. We have them selling content 24/7. We have specific employees working on the account all the time, maximizing the value of the content. I taught everything. I learned it all myself. I did everything myself. I guess that's the only true way you can really delegate in business.
So, how much do you take?
When I first started, it was 50-50. Nowadays, pay them 30% of everything that we make on that account. They'll keep that 30% of the revenue as clean profit for themselves.
So, what's the recruiting process like?
We have an idea of what we want the model to be comfortable with, just purely because we are a company, we want to be profitable. If the model says, oh, I'm not comfortable with X, Y, Z, and this and that, then we may be like, hey, we don't think we're a good match for you because we specialize in selling this content.
Do you think the model's more protected because they have a manager?
In my opinion, and obviously people in the industry, they are a million times more protected when they have management. We position the model to be high, like a really high value. They value that content so much because they've paid a lot of money for it. Leaks are just extremely unlikely.
So, how many models actually have managers?
9 times out of 10, if the model is making over $7,000 to $8,000 a month, it's always somebody else typing behind the account. The model never goes on the account purely because you don't want the model to go on the account and accidentally click something she shouldn't. I met somebody and he told me he hires people from XYZ country because their English is brilliant, It's really, really, really cheap to do it, so it's good for a business. It's not exploitative pay. It's because of the average wage that they get. We employ some at the complete other side of the world, and obviously we don't want that to ping up on IP addresses. OnlyFans might close your account because they see it's open in several different locations. So there can sometimes be teams of 3, teams of 6, and even up to 10 of different people all sitting there talking to the person, getting the money from the subscribers, selling the content, and we never undersell because we want to make money too.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I do. I watch gay OnlyFans. Not any certain creators. I don't subscribe, but I watch the free stuff. I would think that, you know, you would have more control, I guess, but I just don't know enough about the industry and stuff. But, it's two ends of the spectrum wherever you go. Um, if you're a vulnerable person, someone's like coerced you into doing OnlyFans, and that's different from being, a strong, confident woman or man, and going into it to get money to pay for university or something that you want to do. But I do enjoy watching some sort of porn though. I do feel like OnlyFans gives people that go into this industry more control. Obviously, there's loopholes and stuff like this, and as you said, managers that do make it easier to not find creeps per se. But I do agree that OnlyFans is a more structured way of having control over your own content.
Yeah, I do. I'm actually subscribed to 2 accounts. One was somebody I went to secondary school with. The other one was a queen from RuPaul's Drag Race UK. The guy from my school was more than happy to pay. I was more than happy to pay for it because that's the stuff you don't really get for free. To me, he was offering something special. I mean, I had a crush on him when I was 13, so I wasn't going to say no. There's like a unique appeal that I wouldn't get from a random, ordinary person with OnlyFans. I did for a few months, but I didn't really like the idea of paying for it. Like, besides the initial novelty and back catalogue you get from the person when you sign up, I think you're used to not paying for porn your entire adult life. My friends know that I watch porn, and I know they do too, but not in the way of like explicitly talking about it. It also doesn't help that all my closest friends are straight, so I don't think they get much out of my gay porn recommendations. OnlyFans is a different story, however. Nobody knows I've subscribed to people on that. There's a certain stigma. I think more than anything, my friends would just find it amusing that I choose to pay for it.
I decided to start OnlyFans because I had a fairly decent, thirsty following on social media, and essentially needed some extra revenue stream. My first month, I believe I made around about $2,500. Now I still have around an average of 50 to 70 subscribers. So I think on a month, usually probably about $300 to $400 I make. In my head, I was like, I know there's going to be quite a lot of people who are going to want to subscribe to this. So I don't want to set the price too low because I don't want them all to get it really for cheap and not make as much money. So I looked around at the pages that I subscribed to, and the sort of mid tier of that was sort of $7.99 to $9.99. So I pretty much just split that in half. Friends, definitely. All of my friends know. They all follow me on social media anyway. Multiple friends that I have also have OnlyFans. So their attitude towards it is very much get your coin, and supportive and all the rest of it. Very liberal friends. My family don't, as far as I know. I would say that they probably would not be terribly happy if they did. But that's probably a bridge to cross when needed. I think yes, because of the way that I run my page, in that it is very much, I will put something out if I have something to put out and if I've made it for the page. And like I said, if something comes up in a request that I don't really want to do or I don't feel comfortable doing, I just won't do it. It's like once it's out there, it's out there. So always bear that in mind, because no matter how many, like, I have a copyright notice on my page that says that the content here is owned by me, blah 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 blah. No matter how much you put that out, someone's going to screen record it. Like that's just going to happen. Personally, I think not being too beholden to your subscribers is much healthier than trying to stretch yourself, sometimes literally, to appease those people.
So, why did you start OnlyFans?
I started OnlyFans because I was already involved in kind of like sex work anyway. So for me, it became another way to make content, make money. I was making closer to like $500-600 like back in the day.
So, are you enjoying it?
It's frustrating. I liked OnlyFans as a platform because it's just where everyone goes to. Everyone knows it. It's fairly easy to use. They've implemented new things. A big thing that performers forget to do is sign like model release forms when they work with someone, and OnlyFans have finally implemented that on the website. It's good. It's easy.
So what content does the best usually?
Videos, like longer videos. I would work with other people and like shoot with them. So like collab stuff, mainly like girl collab stuff. And obviously most of my subscribers aren't men. A lot of people do think it's just like pictures and like little snippets, but like a lot of us are doing like full on porn. Like I don't know what else you can call it. Like it's porn. It's not this like get rich quick scheme, which I think is a misconception.
So what are your family's views? Like, do you really care?
My family weren't particularly happy. I've kind of always been a bit like, I don't care what people think. My dad did once say to me, I worry that I would see you online somewhere. It is a fear of mine. And I was like, oh God.
Do you know about model managing companies, and what do you think about them?
Those kinds of companies, they'd reach out to people that are new in the industry, that don't really know what they're doing, and they just prey on them to make them money, and it makes me so angry. That's what Andrew Tate did. He like had his Hustlers University, and it's like it's effectively like, what do you want to be, a pimp?
What's the worst experience you've had on OnlyFans?
Worst is definitely chargebacks. So people can contact their like credit card provider and like say like, this wasn't me, and then OnlyFans will refund them and take the money from us. There was a guy that subscribed to me. He was tipping constantly. He was buying things like video calls and phone calls, and he was like buying custom videos, like long videos, and spending hundreds of pounds. It was like actually the best month I ever had. And then a month later, I went on my statement and he charged back everything.
What kind of boundaries do you have in OnlyFans?
I don't do age play. I don't do race play. I don't do like very particular taboo things. I also can't, there's some things the website we're not allowed to do. So like people will be like, can you pee for me? And it's like, I cannot do that because the website doesn't allow for it.
So finally, do you feel empowered doing OnlyFans? Do you feel in control?
I'm a big believer that no job is empowering under capitalism. It was like a duty manager of a nice restaurant, and I was still treated like shit. I'm autistic, right? And finally, I genuinely do feel empowered to live my life. I really struggled with self-esteem my whole life. I have like absolutely hated everything about myself for some reason, and I cannot tell you how confident I am now. And like, no one can actually tell me I look ugly ever. I am so hot. And for years, I have been making money off of that. I'm not selling my body. Like, I'm not, like, it belongs to me. Whatever we do for work, if we're feminine in any way, we are going to be sexualized.